Hello, hello. Welcome back to a our monthly market update um, for February. My name is Reuben with John L. Scott, and providing you some information for anybody who is considering, moving, buying, selling, whatever you need to do for the year 2024. What I've got here that I'm showcasing, this is HouseAmp, and it's a company that John L. Scott has partnered with. I think they started this partnership like sometime last year. Basically, it's to help bridge the gap, like a financing gap or a funding gap between getting repairs done and whatnot. But we'll go into this one in a bit. First, we're going to start off with our market trend here. This is what's going on here in Kitsap. In January, we saw our usual increase, as you can see from over here from last year. This blue line here is the new listings. So we went from 166 to 254, which is pretty similar to last year. That's pretty close. 163 to 250. Now the unusual thing here is that you can see we've got this like roller coaster type of ride going up throughout the course of the year. However, it's not, if you take a look, it's not too much of a difference. 250 came down to 219 and then went up to 346. And I guess just for context, if we go back to adjust this date range, we'll go back to the last 2 years and show chart. So you can see here that the graph with the new listing graph was just kind of like pretty steadily going up, as opposed to what happened at the beginning of 2023, and where you had this like I said, roller coaster ride. So we will go back to our usual thing. We're having more houses. Houses are still kind of staying on the market a little bit. You'll probably see come once February's data come out, this number here is going to start going up. Since this number's gone up here, I would anticipate that this 361 will probably go up, because we are not selling quite as fast as they are coming on the market. So we'll see how that goes, because as you can see here, in February, that trend started going up. And so that's what we can expect coming into the spring and into the summer, which is a fairly typical scale. So we're going to take a look at our price per square foot. Still, in the 270, 280 range. And this covers Kitsap with the exception of Bainbridge Island here. Still higher than what it was at the beginning of the year. As you can see, we've seen a certain increase still, even with rates as high as they've been. And I think what it was, around May, that they really started cranking up the rates. This is where we're sitting at. All right, so our days on market, averaging around 51 days, which is a bump from December's. So January, we're almost at 2 months here. However, not unusual. January last year, we were at 52. We were at 51. So fairly typical. And our sale price versus the original listing price is, we're not seeing too many reductions in sale price. So still above 5%. 3% is really not that bad on average. And taking a look at our months of inventory, once again, this is if we had no new houses, it would take 2 months at the current rate to empty out all the inventory. And once again, 3 months is what is considered like a typical market, typical healthy market. So we're still cruising pretty fast on the. It's still considered a seller's market, just less of a seller's market. And that's going to conclude our facts and trends here. We'll close that out. we're going to talk about HouseAmp. Now, in John L. Scott, it did used to be called Market Ready Plus, and we still use that. The reason why then we brought HouseAmp or partnered up with HouseAmp, and it actually expanded the services, because originally it was just with Market Ready Plus, you could pretty much just use it for repairs and maybe some upgrades, but they're offering like moving costs also and staging, and I don't think that was actually offered on that set. And but how this works is that, you know, if you say your house needs some work, or you need some cash to bridge a gap to get, you know, in this case like moving costs, or if you did want to spring for some staging, what this does is it opens up basically a line of credit against the sale of the house. And so you do whatever it is that you need to do. And then when the house closes, that is when the bill is basically paid. So if you're strapped for cash and you need to get some work done, or you need some cash to get over this hump, this is a great program. It's pretty well streamlined, and I think it's like a 3% interest on this. So it's pretty useful tool when you need it, and not a huge expense. So that's HouseAmp for you. Let's move on. So what I've got going on here, talking about mortgage rates, this is Fred, St. Louis Fed, Freddie Mac St. Louis Fed. So this is the as they say, weekly mortgage rates is now based upon applications submitted to Freddie Mac. So these are applications that are directly submitted to Freddie Mac. It doesn't include if they're not. So this is exclusively what's going on with Freddie Mac, and I don't know why they have these gaps in data here. Somebody needs to get fired. I don't know why we can't connect the dots. Somebody didn't learn how to do that. But anyhow, so right now they have their average their average mortgage rate at 6.9%. And like I said, this is an average rate. Depending upon your credit score and your financial situation, you can get better rates if you can buy stuff down and whatnot. And just for comparison, I've got Zillow's up here. So Zillow's got it at 6.66, which isn't too much of a deviation. The current average 30-year fixed mortgage rate climbed 2 basis points from 6.64 to 6.66. The mortgage of the beast. Zillow announced the 30-year fixed rate mortgage February 27 was down 3 basis points, and the basis point is like this integer right here. So when when that moves up or down, that's 1 basis point. Additionally, the current national average 15-year fixed rate is at 5.97, and I would actually probably, since Zillow covers more than just Freddie and Fannie, those guys are a big, like, you know, mortgage underwriter, mortgage lender, but they don't cover the entire nation. So I think you're going to get a much more accurate picture based upon what Zillow is picking up. One last thing for anybody who is the first-time home buyers or in need of any sort of federal housing assistance, one of my lender colleagues, Debbie Nazarino, she directed me to the Washington State Housing Finance Commission, and I had known that this commission existed, but I didn't quite understand the services that they provided. And one of the things that I did want to bring up for anybody who is not hasn't purchased a house, hasn't had to purchase a house in quite a number of years, and there's been a lot of changes, both on the legal end of house purchasing and, as you can see, on the financial end. They do provide classes. They've got in-person classes here, and you just go onto their website, and I'll link this into the description. And they also have Zoom classes. They're virtual classes, and they're all in the evening, so you can catch it like, after work. You don't have to like take time off work or anything like that for these. And it looks like they have them on like pretty frequently. It's February 28th. You've got a virtual 5 to 10, 4 to 9, and these are 5-hour classes. Sometimes they split them, so you can catch like, I think this one here, 228 Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8:30, and then come back the next day, 6 p.m. to 8:30 to get the rest of it, the other half. So yeah, pretty good information, and considering, like, I haven't actually attended to one of these. I just recently found out about it, but I thought it was important to highlight for anybody who is not familiar with how the home purchasing process. And when I get a chance, or I can block out like 5 hours, I'm going to jump onto one of these and hopefully bring back a report as to how these works. So that is it for today. Be sure, please tune in, give the old like, subscribe, share, as they say. Join me up on, connect with me on Facebook. Please message me if you have any questions, or if you would like any sort of services, like if you want consultation, free consultation, no obligation. I'm not going to make you sign anything. Or if you would like your house, get a broker's price opinion on your house. And I'll just kind of do a market analysis on that for you. So aside from that, I catch the rest of my stuff, my cooking and kitchens, and I'm going to be starting a new segment called History of Paulsbo, or Paulsbo History, where I check out some of the more historical stuff going on in Paulsbo. Great place to live. Really enjoying myself here. So thanks a lot, and I will catch y'all later.